Hello everyone, today we will be taking a look at the BubbleMaps project together. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join our Telegram groups for more videos like this. Let's get into the details. When we look at the project, I can say that it's trying to bring a fresh perspective to blockchain explorers, which many of us use from time to time in crypto. Visually, I can say that it both supports blockchain explorers and brings many of them together, allowing us to track them all from a single platform. With the Infofi meta, the project is preparing to launch new applications, and at the same time, its token called BMT is currently being traded on many exchanges, including Binance. In a moment, we will be reviewing this project. If you like, let's go step by step. First, let's understand what these blockchain explorers are. Every transaction we make in crypto is recorded on the blockchain, and these records can be checked later whenever needed. Today, I can even check a transaction I made 5 years ago or one that was made when Bitcoin first came out retrospectively, as long as its record still exists. And for this, we usually use blockchain explorers. For example, if we make a transaction on the Ethereum network, we use Etherscan. If it's on the BSC network, we use BSC scan. And here, as a result of every transaction we make, a TX hash or a TX ID is generated, and we can track the transaction through this, or through any wallet address. We can check all the transactions that wallet has made one by one, and therefore this keeps transparency in crypto as tight as possible. When you look at it, the BubbleMaps project actually brings together many existing blockchain networks under one roof, allowing you to monitor dozens of tokens across multiple networks and to track the wallets, transactions, and so on, both retrospectively and in real time in a much more visualized way. In my opinion, this shows that the project could be valuable within the Infofi meta going forward. So what is Infofi? Infofi in general could be described as information finance. Projects like BubbleMaps are actually trying to make access to this kind of information in crypto as transparent and easy as possible by visualizing such data within the Infofi space. For example, when you look at BubbleMaps, we've previously participated in dozens of projects on Telegram or on the web. We've either participated in their airdrop events or joined various other activities. But especially on Telegram, many projects would eventually collapse because they couldn't deliver a product in the end, and since their own tokens couldn't be used anywhere, they would fail. Currently, when you look at it, BubbleMaps is also developing its own product. In addition to their current system, which is already integrated with blockchain explorers, they are also developing a new system called Inteldesk. They are working on a new application. There isn't any concrete information about this yet. They've actually shared some small updates about it on their Twitter. Like I said, they haven't fully released this application yet. They will be releasing it soon as it is close to the development stage. But what we do know about the application, according to their own statements, is that it will be a game-changing app. They say they are preparing to make a revolution in crypto. With this Inteldesk application, they are actually trying to establish the first community-driven intelligence desk in crypto. So as far as I understand, this will be a general application where the community can vote, track processes, see and monitor large volume transactions on the blockchain explorer, cast votes and make comments about them and so on. It wouldn't be wrong to say that with this Infofi meta, they're actually taking their already integrated applications to the next level. This will actually help them secure a stronger position in the industry. They'll be sharing updates about this on their own Twitter account. I'll also be keeping a close eye on it myself. Because when you look at it, it's not a small thing. You can already see just by checking out their Twitter that they have integrations with other applications as well. For example, here there's a trading platform called Axio, I believe. They've integrated themselves into it and made their application directly accessible and usable from there. With the increase of such integrations, I can say that the project actually offers a lot of features. Now, as I mentioned before, the project also has its own token called BMT. In fact, if you look, they've written powered by BMT in their Twitter bio as well. You can already see the full details of the coin here, its name. You can view its price chart since it was launched. It was launched on the 24th of March actually. So as we go through April, May and June, we can view the current price chart like this. From what I can see on the chart, there are both declines and rises. Of course, you can all see this, but what I notice here is a chart that actually repeats itself. But of course, interpreting charts is not really our job. You can make your own interpretations anyway. As you can see here, the project is already listed on many exchanges, including Binance, as I mentioned, and it has also directed itself towards developing a solid application with a strong infrastructure. So unlike those other random nonsensical Telegram projects where they say, let's develop this app together with the community, do an airdrop, do this and that and move on, they are actually focusing on developing an application that can truly be used within the crypto space, and I think their system has turned out really well. For example, let me just say one last thing about their token. This token of the project will also be usable within their new application Inteldesk, which they are about to launch. They already have a multi-chain token, a token that is listed on multiple exchanges, and now they will also make it usable through their own application. So in fact, it's a token that can gain value within the ecosystem. For example, let's take a quick look at their own application as well. Let me also tell you a bit about how the system works in the application we've been talking about. For example, here I selected a token on any Ethereum network. We are greeted by a visualized application like this. The name is already BubbleMaps. Bubble means bubbles after all. So it's actually a map made up of bubbles. So what kind of map is this? Each bubble you see here actually corresponds to a wallet on the right side, and each of these wallets, some have names while others are just shown as wallet addresses. For example, these are wallets belonging to Binance and these are wallets belonging to individuals. So you can see what each one belongs to and so on. In fact, you can also view these on Ethereum Scan, Scan and similar platforms. For example, here you can see which token, how much Ethereum each wallet has sent and received and so on. You can view all of it. From here, if you want, you can choose to view it not as Ethereum but as USDT. For example, when you check, you can see how much USDT this wallet has sent, how much USDT it has received, and so on. You can view all of this. But if you ask me, as I said, you can already do all of this from these platforms anyway. They've just made it a bit more visual here. This is the part I like the most. When you click on the date section here, as you can see, it goes back quite a bit, so you can track this process retrospectively. So for example, when we select it, we can also track the transactions from November 2023 here. What happened, who sent how much to whom, which transactions took place, and so on. You can see all the details of these from this token. For example, right now as I'm looking, if we want, when you check from here or on the main page, you can see that it's not just on the Ethereum network, but also on BSC, AVAX, Polygon, Arbitrum, Base, Solana, and so on. I can see that it supports many more tokens in the background as well. For example, when you look at the token in the list here, I think it shows the most recently listed tokens. For instance, they're going to add flipping soon as well. In this way, for example, there's Magic Eden and so on. From here, you can track all the transactions for any token they've added, for any token you want. You can customize it according to your own preferences like this. It actually gives you full control. At the moment, when you look at it, they've already established the system overall. From here on, I think they'll continue to improve the app even further with new developments, as well as the community's requests and suggestions. If we need to evaluate it overall, the project has already launched at a certain value and continues to develop itself at that value. In other words, it's a project that launched in the Infofi field and continues to develop itself in this area. It seems like it could gain value over time. I'll be closely following this project, especially in case there's any airdrop event or something similar. I'm also sure that new integrations and so on will come in the future. Personally, I'm also curious about the features that will come with the new Inteldesk they're introducing. Even though we're used to the interfaces of platforms like Ethereum Scan, BSC Scan, and so on, I found BubbleMaps interface to be a bit more user-friendly. So once we get used to this interface, I think we'll actually be able to easily track transactions from here as well. Other than that, this pretty much sums up what we can generally say. As always, I'm definitely curious to hear your thoughts about the project, especially regarding the Infofi field and the developments in the project. If you share your opinions in the comments, I think we can all discuss them together. So, we can slowly wrap up the video now. If there's anything you're curious about or want to ask, you can reach out to me through the comments or via our Telegram chat channel. I wish you all a great day and lots of profits.